Alton Towers is by far one of the most beloved theme parks in all of the UK. You love it, I love it, come on, we all love it. However, there are some people out there, naming no names, that decide to hate a little bit on Rita, which is the park's Intamin hydraulic launch coaster. Now, for most of my short little life, I'd only been watching these creators and I'd never ridden it myself, so I just assumed that they were right. And so, I was expecting a slightly underwhelming, not great ride. However, I recently went to Alton Towers for the first time. My first and last rides there were, in fact, Rita, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was actually quite an enjoyable ride, which has led me to become very confused because I'm not sure why it gets so much hate. I'm genuinely not sure why. It had a strong launch, good acceleration rate, it had a pretty decent speed, it had good airtime, good positives, good laterals. It had pretty much everything you'd expect from that ride. I mean, the theming is a little strange because you've got sort of the trains from when it was themed to a race car, and the station now that it's a dark forest thing. I don't really know what it is. But even so, like, it looks pretty decent. It doesn't have a storyline, but most coasters at Alton Towers don't. So, yeah, I'm really confused as to what was going on in their heads. But at least let's try and get into their mindsets and delve a little deeper into why someone might not like Rita, but also why someone should, because I think it deserves a bit of praise on the internet because, she's been getting a lot of hate, and that's not fair. So reason number one, as I've already mentioned slightly, is the theming. If you don't know, Rita was originally based on like a race car, which a lot of Intamin hydraulic launches are. You've got Top Thrill Dragster and Stealth and loads of stuff like that. And I mean, that's a pretty decent theme. But then they decided to change it afterwards to be this sort of dark forest, creepy vines going over this wooden building station, um, and you're sort of just racing through this forest at really high speeds. And there isn't much backstory to it, but also, like I said, most of the rides at Alton Towers don't have a backstory, so I think that's fair enough. There's a little bit of mismatching here and there with the trains and the track and station, but overall, I really wouldn't say it's a reason to hate on the ride, because, at the end of the day, that's not what we're there for. Reason number two you might decide to hate on it is that it sort of wastes its launch, but then not entirely, because I mean you get a decent ride out of it. It's not too short. I believe it's 40 something seconds, the ride duration, or it might be a bit less than that. But you do go into the brake run with quite high speed, but then even that is quite enjoyable because you get that jolt as you go into it and you stop suddenly, which is a similar experience to a launch, just a bit weaker and in the other way. But other than those two things, I'm a bit stumped. Like, it's got everything else has got good forces. I'm really stumped. I think it's a decent layout, strong forces, good launch. So if you have any idea why people aren't such fans, then please let me know down in the comments below. But although this was a short one, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.